Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 96 of Let's Play
Sure.
Pillars of Eternity, where we are leaving to try and find someone who can teach us the, O word thingy that we need to the cantec. Cantec, sorry, it begins with a C, not an O. I knew that. So let's get on and try and find it. Shouldn't take us too long, I hope. You never know, it might do. So we've tried there. We're going to have to try every single house, and we're going to have to try every person. Now, we found one person, but is she the wisest to do is the problem. We have to find someone who is an acceptable loss.
I take it you've met Galvino.
Do you know where I could find Honky?
Probably out in the russet wood, chopping timber.
She says the devil of Karok.
Don't worry, we're not looking to murder him or anything.
Why do you want to know?
Just wondering.
Well, if you don't find him, just check back later. What's on your mind?
Let's examine her soul. Your awareness settles beneath Reningild's skin. You feel yourself looking through her eyes upon a time-faded memory. You're standing in the inn. The room is stifling, but it's the body heat of so many furious villagers. Not a neglected fire pit that's drawn sweat from your pores. Your husband waits by the door, about as far as he can get from the assembly. He holds Aldrich, whose cheeks are bright as he watches the adults bicker with wide, fearful eyes. You'd never realize how badly your neighbors stank, but something rank and repulsive rises from them as they pack together in this room.
How much did the old snake pay you, Sina Hiod?
It's Gyrnid, the head fisherman, jabbing a furious finger into the toward the back of the room. Sinahiod, your erstwhile mayor, squirms in a corner, pinned by the accusing stares of the entire village. Oh, those eyes, they're cruel, porcine eyes. They are cruel porcine eyes, and they're watching Sinahold with the dumb gluttony of hogs staring at fodder. The only sight that turns your stomach more is Sinahold himself trying to wiggle free of his own lies.
Maestro Galvino and I came to an agreement. It was for the good of Stalwart. I thought...
A lump bobs in his throat.
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
A woman in the middle of the crowd waves at her fist. Cries of fiercer agreement rise from the others. What began as a collective grumbling is swelling and congealing like storm clouds. You look back at your husband. He whispers to Aldrich, but when you catch his eyes, he directs a silent supplication to you.
Let's go.
A wet smack draws your attention to the other end of the room. Someone's thrown a potato, and Sinahold cringes and rubs his jaw. You want to shut them... Sorry, You want to shut them all out. Shut them off this nonsense and waste, but you know this is about to get worse. Stalwart will have blood, and Galvino in his horror had the sense to flee already. You turn again, and your husband is beckoning you with swift, chopping motions. But what stops you beneath your breath is Aldrich. His little eyes are fixed on the churning mob, and you knew ever since you started hearing about those hideous purges that he'd see something like this one day. But did it have to be so soon? It's what drove that devil woman to madness, and now his little eyes have gotten big enough to swallow the whole scene, and now he's seeing you as part of it. You want to leave now, but if you do, this is what your boy will remember: cowardice and madness. About people, about Stalwart, about you. The people around you jostle and bark in their rage. They're dangerous animals, but animals nonetheless. They need to be led. So you push your way to the end of the room, where Sinahold trembles in a puddle of his own piss.
Enough.
Your voice boils from your throat. The others fall silent, watching you. They listen, dumbly trusting, as you turn Sinahold's death sentence into exile. No one contradicts you when you explain that he's going to march out of the village alone and into whatever miserable hamlet will have him. They silently agree when you explain that their hands are too clean for the likes of him. But there's something else forming behind their eyes. A kernel of trust and dependence. You feel it curdling around you, encasing you like a pearl does sand. You only wanted to spare Sinahod's life, not volunteer for his job, but you see so much fear simmering just beneath their expressions. Fear at godmen marching through the mountains, at dear Woodians and their purges, at dying the slow and lonely death of a ghost town. and you see the grateful reassurance mirrored in Aldrich's expression. Perhaps this place is hopeless, but you realize that you can't leave it any more than you could leave your body. The only person who isn't looking at you is your husband. He's shaking his head, his eyes on the door. You retreat from Renegild's memory. Vivid though it is, it has nothing to do with Durgan's battery.
What's on your mind?
Actually,
Any
apparently
luck
we
with
missed
Durgan's
something.
battery?
Can you tell me about something about the last exposition that went to Durgan's battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask.
She scratches her jaw, frowning.
I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over. Wish I could tell you more.
Perhaps we'll find more in the battery itself, yes? He nodded you with a guarded look.
What's on your mind?
Nothing. Let's get out of here. Right, next house is this one. And any people we, of course, run into in between.
Got to speak up?
You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality instead of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in a fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out of it, it seizes you violently. You're standing in a darkened feast hall, studying tables and benches that have been stacked against the door at the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Sinove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreement in the quiet murmur of the others, but Arms Warden Maron ordered you to hold your ground here. Getting those ring right in whispers, you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So, you left your pickaxe and swing into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. The acrid odor of urine rises from their bodies.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse from hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down and in flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the doors. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and a few swords, but they don't dare flinch, your own pulse pounding at your temples. You pull for axe from Tina's swords, but you feel Zenova's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence flashes, lashing out at an unseen enemy. Zenova is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to her old and threatening memories. Tina, however, seems unaware of any of this. She blinks at you with cloudy, placid eyes. This woman is old. She's a much better target, like a much better person to be using this on. But for now, we need to find the rest. So find the rest is what we'll do. Right, so we've done that. Let's go this way. I think it's only named characters who will have it, so that really does, like, obviously, you know, lower down the people who we need to talk to. Inside the fishery might have some answers. Like someone there, the person there we need to actually, you know, get kicked out of the village might have it. And save, be like 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get up here, let's find this ass. There he is.
A fine thing you reached us when you did. They would have burned the fishery next, mark my words.
He wraps your hand in a sturdy handshake.
And the last thing this lot needs is another excuse to knock off early.
He raises his voice at this last remark and glowers around the room. The other fisher folk look sturdiously away and focus on mending nets, gutting fish, and sorting the day's catch. Can't imagine why they'd be in any hurry. He looks as if he's trying not to breathe.
Anyway, excuse the mess. If there's something you need, the clerk can get you sorted.
He raises a greying eyebrow at the man sorting various stocks and supplies near the back of the room.
Just watch your step if you've a mind to look around. The floors are slick and none too pleasant to fall on.
I'm going to read his soul. As you reach for Grenad's essence, you find yourself wrapped in the cold embrace of a snowstorm. You trudge through the snow, each step laborious to your numb feet. You keep your head down against the wind, and your back is bent under a heavy burden. Ahead of you is the frozen lake and the hole you made in it. Your feet crunch over the ice. You wait, and secretly hope for the telltale crack beneath you. With the village distant and dark behind you, you would sink, and none would know. At least that would free you of the heavy, churning feeling in your gut. Yet you reach the hole, and the ice is still steady under you. You heft to the burden of your shoulders, cradling her in your arms. She's wrapped in nets and weighed with stones. You wish one of the priests of Undra were here with solemn words of the assurance of the ceremony. Instead, you slip a bracelet of her wrist. Undra will have her body, and you will carry this reminder. You slip the bundle into the water and watch it sink. As it dwindles to nothing more than dark stain beneath the ice, you feel a scratching in your throat and hear the wild wind moaning into your ear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It takes you a moment to realize that you're hearing your own voice muttering. You sever from the vision. Whatever it is, it has nothing to do with Durgan's battery. Oh, fuck me sideways. I wasn't expecting anyone to come by the fishery for a while. Guess that's the proper way to go about it, really. Carry on like it's business as usual. What can I get you? Anything? Let's see what you have. Of course. You exactly. Whoa, what's that? Yes, please. And I'll take those. So, who do I want to be able to summon worms? There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, nothing else risen here. Let's get ourselves out and do what we can find someone else. Right, anyone this way? Nope. Right, I think the next place, the temple won't have anyone, I know that much. This will do.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really... Oh.
The dwarven woman looks at you, a disappointed expression on her face. In her hands is a large rectangular box covered in strange dials and symbols. What's working?
My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit.
The Della of Carrick makes a grating, garbled noise, like clearing her throat.
My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
Maybe I do have a strong soul.
I suppose that's possible. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, unfortunately.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrim dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype. Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I could go up the mountain for you.
Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see.
Her hands move swiftly over the box, adjusting knobs and dials.
It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this.
Don't point that finger at me. She glances from the box to you.
Huh?
I hope you've had some luck.
So we can't read her soul. That's fair. Let's go inside the temple anyway and see if there is anything there. As they say, better safe than sorry. Yep, pretty much is exactly as I said. Empty. Right, so we've got one entire house left. Don't know if there's anyone who with, what's it called, a name over here. It's always best to check, though. Nope, just a cave, didn't mind. Let's go speak to this guy and see if he's doable. Let's move a little bit faster, why not? We we do need to rest at the end, actually, as well. No, he's not. Let's move on. There's one last person I can think of. And that's this fucker here. And he's luckily a dwarf.
Watch yourself on the mountain.
Tic's soul is a vibrant, stolid thing, and as you reach out for with your senses, you see your breath begin to fog in the air. You find yourself far above the ground, wedged into the juncture of two branches. The moonlight is bright upon the snow, and in the distance, your quarry steps out onto the ice as if onto an illuminated stage. You steal your breath and you draw back your arrow. A warm breath back into your limb, frosts the snow giving way to smoky interior of Frink's home. Well, we've got two people, and I'm gonna go with the old lady. Because of the two people, of the two people who'd be affected, she has the least to lose. She's had a long life, she's had the life she needs. In like a sense of who would
Ever tried 3-point nettle?
I used to smoke that a few years back. Love the flavor, but got tired of smelling like it.
How about deer cap?
Long as I don't need to be anywhere for a couple days.
Ever spent an evening with a comely lass while on deer cap?
Thought that was the point.
Well, a deer's a drug addict. We called it. I don't know what I called, but I called it. So let's get ourselves rested up, and then we'll
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Top quality.
let's get ourselves a rest, and then we'll worry about doing this. Let's get it done. I'm paying 50 extra for my fucking people. Why? Did I hire a different one or something? 10 copper point a day. It must have just been a longer month or something, I guess. I don't know. Alright, let's go give this old woman a...
As a kid, I figured I was too stupid and impatient to learn magic. How about you, Aloth? When you were a kid, did you dream that you'd live a life of arcane practice?
It was never my decision. But I've come to appreciate that it was made.
Well, that's gonna suck for this woman.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Awaken, Zenove, and remember your battle in the feast hall. A tremor passes through Tiana's face, and then her rumpled skin goes slack. After a whacking cough, she blinks like someone slowly coming to consciousness.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it?
Her eyes have grown unusually clear. If she attacks and I have to punch an old lady, I don't want to hear about it from everyone. There was nothing I could do. I like Adir. He's that guy who's like, right, if we do this, you ain't fucking bringing this back up. I need to enter Durgan's battery.
What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people?
Her hands clench and unclench around an imaginary weapon. Zenov's essence stirs with the same battle-ready furor you sense in her memories from Durgan's battery. She is dangerous. Beneath Zenov, Tenna's overwhelmed consciousness struggles again. You died long ago. Zenov's rage is a heavy fog that clots and thickens, cloaking Arane's fading consciousness. Zenov herself is overwhelmed, and she forces Tiana's eyes into narrow slits.
Lies! Arms Warden Maroon will see you cast into the White Forge.
Look around you. Would you be here, stuck in an old woman's body if I were lying? Zenove at last overwhelms Tiana, screaming through the old woman's mouth. In that instant, Zenove's psyche expands, filling you with a lifetime worth of memories and experience, including a set of verses that you know to be the cantec of Durgan's battery.
Hammers of Durgan, ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery, safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidun's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore.
It's too much for Tiana's dying consciousness. It shrivels and vanishes as Zenove, now in full control of Tiana's body, attacks. I mean, I do feel kind of bad. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You didn't need to explode her. I guess though, if she explodes,
Sure.
less people. I mean, there's no witnesses if you explode them. I mean, that's a given. Oh fucking hell! On crew, this is ladies and gentlemen, this is the exact part I wanted for fucking Christmas Day. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna unfortunately have this part. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next part. I'll see you guys then.